Welcome guys to a brand new video on NIKKE Goddess of Victory. Now in today's video what we are planning to do is take a look at the newly leaked character, quote unquote, because the devs have actually released this character in the game in terms of being able to see her skills, but there is no banners out for her. So we are going to be taking a look at Moran's skills to better understand how good this character is and whether or not she might be a character you want to summon for. Now, quick thing to say, Leona quickly was released. Easy skip guys, you don't need to summon for her. So the question is it better to just go ahead and get Moran, or keep summoning for Leona? But honestly, Leona is not good, so skip on her. So in terms of Moran, she actually might be decent. I think very good in PvP, but in PvE I'm not really too sure on how useful she's going to be, because she does have the damage taken decrease, which is going to be good for our allies. However, in stages where there's a huge CP deficit, I'm not really too sure how much damage taken debuff is going to help you, because of debuff or buff, whatever you want to call it. I don't know how beneficial that's going to be, because you essentially want to kill as fast as possible. She's more of a defensive unit with no attack buff, so I don't think this is going to be that great in PvE content for now. Maybe boss stages though. I think boss stages she's going to be good as well, bosses and PvP, but in campaign stages she is not going to be that great. But let's take a look at her skills. Before I carry on guys, don't forget to like and subscribe, stay tuned for more content on NIKKE Goddess of Victory. If you guys don't want to miss out on future content on the game, make sure that post notification is on. If you guys find this video enjoyable and overall useful, then hey, go ahead and like the video. Help support your boy. Okay, so these are all at 10 10 10. One thing you need to know, she is a burst one and she's a tetra unit, which once again NIKKE is showing they don't give a shit about any of the other manufacturers, because like Elysian is starving and I don't know what they're doing, but they are not helping Elysian out, which honestly I don't know why. Tetra units, and she is an electric type. She's also a assault rifle with 60 ammo capacity. Now her first skill over here has the potential to be extremely good depending on how it works. So effects at the start of the battle affect self, basically increase defense by 3.51% for every 1% of HP loss. Now this could potentially be an amazing skill if once she keeps taking damage, obviously she gets that defense buff, but if you heal her up and does this reset the defense buff? If not, then essentially you can get an infinite amount of defense buff given to you. Okay, so if I was to do a calculation on how much defense buff she can get, if she loses 20% of her HP, she gets a 70.2% increase in her defense. Now this is extremely actually I can't say extremely good, but it's an increase of defense by quite a bit. Now because defense buff in general isn't that great in terms of scaling or in terms of how useful it is in game, you will need a sufficient or a significant increase in your defense buff before you can actually see the benefit of it. But I think she's a character that if it does turn out that even if she heals HP, she gets her back to full and she keeps losing the HP, the defense buff does not reset. So essentially it keeps infinitely scaling up. Essentially, no matter how much of HP you lose and you recover it back, you can keep increasing your defense buff by like a huge amount essentially. So 20% is 70%, but imagine you lose 50% and you cover back full HP, you get a 175.5% increase in your defense. Now this is when your HP is full back again, especially if you heal back up again, and then you lose more HP and you keep recurring the same the buff keeps scaling up and up. This is essentially going to be an amazing skill if that's how it works guys. But if it turns out the more once you lose HP, no matter if you recover your HP, it just resets the defense back to the basic one of 3.51%, then that's just gonna suck. It all depends on how it's calculated and how it scales in this game. Anyway, activates when landing 5 normal attacks when changing the weapon in use, affect the target's deal. This don't really matter guys. She's a defense unit, but this is final attack as well, which can be decent. I get it's just a defense, don't really worry about that. Skill 2 over here basically activates when firing the final bullet, affects 3 enemy units with the highest attack and taunts for 4 seconds. Now I would say taunting for characters like only buff in terms of defense isn't that great because they just get wiped, but like I said, if she can keep increasing the defense buff by a lot in terms of like healing as well and surviving. I think she might be a character that can actually be very, very good with this taunting as well, especially when you take a look at her burst skill with the ability to reduce the amount of damage taken to everyone. And I think that is actually pretty good. So anyways, even though taunt in general just isn't that great most of the time, because you just get one-shotted if you don't have like the reduction of damage, but I think if you were able to last for a while, this can actually make her extremely tanky. Anyways, effects when HP falls 20%, effect self. Effects changes according to the number of activation times. So max HP is increased 71 for 3 seconds. I don't know what this is essentially. Does this mean like a recovery of HP? Max HP. Effects of each phase does not stack. Effect changes. What does this mean? Max HP increase. Does it mean that her HP stat in general just increases, or she gets healing? I don't know what it means. But if she's able to increase her HP stat even more, this helps with her first passive with the 1% of HP loss. So I think this might actually be pretty good, especially in PvP. I think PvP and boss stages, as long as she's able to last, she might be very, very strong. In PvP, there might be an issue though with the fact that the HP loss might not be able to stack for that much, especially when you might get instantly wiped, especially when Jackal is in the opponent's team. AoE kills would just instantly wipe her off, so she essentially wants to burst as fast as possible. So I'm hoping if you pair Moran with Jackal, she can burst extremely fast so that she can actually give you that decrease in damage taken. Anyways, going over to her burst skill, effect self, changes weapon in use. Damage is 14.7% of final attack. What is she trying to be? Is she meant to be in like, why are they making her an attacker plus defense unit? It's just weird. They just stick to one thing, guys. Recovers additional effects, recovers 36.14% of attack damage as HP. Oh, that's pretty good. And taunts all enemies. Oh my days. Okay, is this like I said, sorry. Actually, wait, if you use this instantly in PvE stages for, let's say, bosses, you tank all that damage. I don't think it's gonna be that easy to tank all the damage, especially when it's bosses, like hard bosses. How well will you be able to tank? Especially even if you have that damage taken reduction by 35%, how well will you be able to tank? I think essentially you probably don't want to burst with her first. You want to make sure that defense stacks extremely high just to help her survive a little bit, because once she taunts all enemies, if she's not able to tank, she's just gonna die straight away. So I think this character might be a hit or miss. It's literally a hit or miss. This is something that we need to test. So I will summon for her, because I think it's gonna be extremely hard to test this character out if you don't have her, because the only way to test this character out is in the shooting range. But you want to test her out in bosses, because you want to make sure that she can actually at least tank all the damage the boss is about to focus all on her. Because taunt on enemies for 10 seconds, that is an extremely long duration. If she's unable to tank, this character is the worst unit ever. Because I said, taunting when you don't have damage reduction just sucks. Now she does have damage reduction, but she's taunting for a whole ass 10 seconds. That is extremely long. If she's not able to tank, she does have the recovery of HP. It might be hit or miss, guys. This isn't a hit or miss character. Damage taken is reduced by 35%. Defense is increased as well. Like I said, this basic increase in defense don't really matter, guys, and that damage taken is all that you need to focus on. Now, one thing I would like to say though is like Biscuit might pair extremely well with her. So Moran is a character with 40-second cooldown, so you need another burst one character. So if I'm correct, Biscuit might be her best friend. So where is Biscuit over here? Where is Biscuit? Is she not burst one? Is she burst two? Oh damn, okay. So we are going to need another burst one character instead. So like I said, Jackal could be the best one for her for PvP. PvE, I guess you could just use like Litter, I guess. Okay, going over to burst 2. Turns out Biscuit is burst 2 for some reason. There she is. So going over to Biscuit, let's see what she can actually do again, because just to remember. So activates at the end of full burst effects. All attack allies don't really matter for her. Okay, activates when a defense ally HP falls below 50%. Affects the target's defense ally invisible. Okay, yeah, Biscuit pairs extremely well. Oh my days, this team is about to be so disgusting in PvP. Jackal, Moran, Biscuit, and then any other defense, like your attackers, sorry. This is going to be an insanely strong team for like tanking. Invisible for 5 seconds, activates 2 times per battle, recovers HP as well. And then affects 2 random allies whose cover has been destroyed, rebuilds, and affects all support allies. Okay, she's not support. So honestly, Biscuit and Moran could actually pair extremely well together. And honestly, this makes me really excited for Moran. Like I mentioned, Moran can be a hit or miss, especially, okay, I think you do need to pair her up with Biscuit, especially if it's like a boss in which she can't just tank the damage. We need to test this out because 10 seconds is a huge duration for taunts. Damage reduction of 35% is pretty good. Actually, in PvE content, you could use Moran plus the new character that we recently got, her. You could use NIKKE, because NIKKE also buffs the damage taken as well. So 2% stacks for 10 times. So that little increase is going to be pretty useful. Stack up counts or stackable buffs don't really matter. Gauge feeling speed. I think this character is actually pretty interesting, guys. I think she's actually pretty interesting. I'm actually excited for this character to actually be released in the banner. Will I summon? I think I will wait. I want to summon for her, actually. I think she might be a hit or miss character. But when she hits, she might be a very, very strong character. If she is that character, then she's going to be extremely good in PvP content. Actually, in PvP as well, you can use Moran and who else? There's another character that helps with invincibility. If I go to burst 2, let me check what's her face? Noah. What does she do again? Let's see. So affects all allies invulnerable for 3 seconds. Yeah, you could. Anyways, don't forget to like and subscribe. Stay tuned for more content on NIKKE Goddess of Victory. Tell me down in the comment section what you guys think about Moran as well. Do you think she's going to be a strong character, or do you think she's going to be meh? One thing I didn't show you guys was this. A lot of people are not going to be happy with this though. She looks actually pretty cool though. She looks badass. That's all I can say. It's been your boy AC Gamer. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'm out.